Big announcement, no check engine light. Hello and welcome to another episode of DIY Speed. It is the evening before the 4th of July, somewhere around 9:30. And I'm here in the shop for the first time in about a week or two. But not for nothing. Not for nothing, folks. Look at that. Don't worry, it's already filthy. I guess I can immediately figure out if this is going to clean off nicely or not. But I'd say that's a big improvement. Don't worry about the edges. Those will get done never. Yeah, let's face it. That's it. All she wrote, she got 2 plies of the 2-part epoxy. And good enough. DuPont PPG Aquapon in white. I wanted the gloss, I wanted the pop, help with the lighting in here. Anyway, so it's gonna be a mishmash video. I got a lot of stuff to show you guys. I've been recording everything, I think. Have I? Not really, but some stuff, definitely have. And tonight, we're here. How's it going, folks? Try and give you the best angle I can give you. Yeah, that should do. Alrighty, what are we doing? We're changing oil, changing transmission fluid, changing more oil and transmission fluid, and then other stuff. Whew. Every time I do that, I wonder who tightened that so tight. But then it was me who changed the oil on this last. So it was me who tightened that all that tight. All right. Shoot oil everywhere? Yeah. Let's see. There's not much on here. I don't know if you can see this well. I really hope you can. But almost no metal shavings in there. That's great. And disaster has struck. Of course I'll stand in the lights. Oh man. Spilled oil everywhere. As is usual, just making a mess. We'll get that cleaned up before we go any further. Get that oil put in a larger container. That's supposed to be a 7-quart tray. Apparently, the 5 quarts I had were really 7, huh? Well, Mr. Oil, thank you for your service. But now you have made a massive mess that I have to clean up. Oh, I keep dropping stuff. Isaac, you're really good at what you're doing today. Transmission pan off. Hopefully, this is a decent enough angle for you guys. I gotta change the gasket on this. I gotta scrape the old one off. But I wanna just eyeball that this is the correct one. And my eye chrometer is saying yes, so before I get it dirty, let me pull off this old filter, a pair of gloves. Not much in this pan. Looks pretty good. There was a little bit of clutch material on the magnet, but that means the magnet's doing its job. Nice. Nice. Let's get this gasket off here. It seems to be molded to the pan, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm going to have to scrape all this off. Luckily, I brought a scraper. Yep, that has become one with the pan. Okay, I'll get to scraping. Try not to scrape into my fingers. One shot. Come on. The original, and it didn't leak a drop. This is the original gasket, clearly. or else I wouldn't have to peel it off like this if anybody had put a gasket on this between now and then. But alas, in 221,000 miles, I'm the first person to service this transmission, which is probably why it shifts and sounds the way that it does. So I'm not necessarily prolonging the life by doing this, but before I just go ahead and replace the transmission, I'm going to give it one chance to redeem itself with a new filter and half fresh oil, transmission fluid. And hopefully I can limp. If I get another 20,000 miles out of that transmission, well, if that transmission can live long enough to see this truck under boost, that's when it's going to die. Probably the first day that the truck sees boost, this transmission is destined to die. All right. Got to clean these up a little bit, clean up the edges, and slap this puppy back in. We put a little bit of gasket sealer. That's what we'll do. We'll put a little bit of the right stuff around it. Hit it with a little bit of degreaser. Oh, the degreaser's doing the best work on it. Should probably let that set a little longer. Yeah. Grease it. That's clean to my standards. Everybody knows my standards aren't very high. It's definitely cleaner than it was, so let's just let that dry off. Let's go find the magnet and clean that real quick. And by clean that, wipe the gunk off, shower it in brake cleaner. It's going right back where it came from. Do magnet things inside the transmission and pick up clutch material. Super surprised at how little clutch material I did find inside of this thing. Let's give it a clean. Good enough for me. Cat litter, where are you? Right here? I'll take you. Let's push this pile. Got to push the old pile of cat litter out of the way so that the new pile has a chance to do its thing. All right, cool. That's like 75% of it. Thank you, fan, for giving me fresh air. Funny story. This is story time with Isaac. I picked up a 95 Chevy 1500, like just Silverado 1500. I got it for 425 bucks. And there was something wrong with the brake lines, I guess swollen or clogged. That one day I had the hood open and it was idling, and I checked the brake fluid because it did leak a little bit, so I added some. I guess I didn't put the reservoir all the way, or there was so much pressure in the master cylinder not being able to push. There's only one way it could go out, so I pushed on the brakes and it popped the top of the reservoir out and landed all over the hot engine, and brake fluid is highly flammable. It immediately caught fire. And you see the insulation under the hood here? Well, that stuff burns really easily. and when it starts to burn, it melts and drips. So I'm wearing gloves. I can't show it to you this second, but I had a bunch of that drip on my hand and scar my hand. And I was able to put it out by pulling my shirt off and suffocating as much of the fire as I could while stamping the rest out with my bare hand. And that was story time with Isaac. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen here. There's quite a bit that it has to blow off, but it should be fine. All right, we're rolling. I had to pull out the real camera for this, the GoPro. Alternator problems. The charging system on this truck has been wonky from day one. I have another alternator in the back of the truck that I just took off to put this one on, and now this one's died and came back to life, I think 5 times now. It might have died for real. It might be dead for good. That's okay though. I've been like, what is gonna happen here where I could finally say this alternator has been the problem? Alrighty. So I have this alternator sitting in the back of the truck. I just took this off, and you can see it's not the oldest alternator. It's really not. I think it's only got maybe 20,000 miles on it. However much mileage I put on the truck, because it was put on that same year. 25,000 I say would be accurate on it. It's been a couple of days, so it just dawned on me that I should probably keep recording. I'm on the highway now, headed out to PA. I switched out the alternator that stopped working for the alternator that still works but doesn't work great. So it's undercharging right now. I'd say that's probably at 13.3 volts because I've done enough stop and test with the voltmeter. So we're just cooking along 65 miles an hour, heading into the Pocono Mountains now. Big old semi. Big old Peterbilt. Anyways, that's stupid. 3,000 RPM. Climbing hills at 75 miles an hour. Air fuel is fine. Man, that transmission fluid change and filter really brought that transmission back around. It shifts great now. seeing a lot of military vehicles. It's funny enough, I shut the camera off coming up that big hill, and one of the officers pulled behind me and followed me for a few minutes. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of military vehicles in oncoming traffic. Probably 10 in the last minute or so. I decided to turn the camera back on. We'll see if there's any more. Yeah, there's a line of them coming up here. Hopefully the camera picks it up. I'll try to lift the camera high enough. But yeah. Check those out. Really cool stuff. I saw a radar on one of them. That looked like a refrigerated unit of some sort at the end. I don't know what any of those vehicles are. I have no experience with them. But super cool seeing them. You see them from time to time traveling the interstate in convoys. It reminds me of driving through, I believe, the high deserts of Pueblo, Colorado. Going up into the deserts, there was, it must have been 500 to 1,000 vehicles. I mean, you didn't smell the air, you just smelled diesel fuel, you know, diesel exhaust on the highway. And we followed them all the way up the mountains, up to high desert, until finally the GPS took us away, you know, off that road. But that military convoy was pretty impressive. You know, again, the air was just thick with diesel smoke. There's so many vehicles chugging up this mountain. And it's a single lane highway, so we were stuck behind them for, I want to say, about an hour of driving. That's the officer that followed me right in front of me. He got stuck in this one lane traffic as well. But this is what it is every time I drive to PA. Every week. Every week. So, you know, I tell myself, listen, it's normal to get pulled over. So long as you're not speeding, I'm not going to have an issue. I mean, I have all the paperwork. I'm insured. But yeah, there goes the officer on somebody else's tail. They're out today. I saw every police car, that every state trooper on the highway had somebody pulled over. So I don't know. It's the 13th. I don't know what's going on. I guess summer is in full effect, so there's a lot more cars on the road. But I'm not used to being pulled over. I'm not used to seeing so many officers. You know, it's all state troopers on the highway. I'm not used to seeing so many. They're usually, okay, so when you cross over into New York State from Pennsylvania, they like to hang out in the rest areas there, and New York State troopers are pretty active on the 84 in that corridor. But it's just the amount of officers I saw with people pulled over. Another story here reminds me of driving through Tennessee, going to a music festival, and the officers knew that all of these people were traveling to the festival. Of course, most of the people driving to the festivals have, you know, illegal drugs with them. So they were pulling people over at such a pace. It was pretty surreal. Thankfully, I never got pulled over in one of those scenarios, and I wasn't too worried about being pulled over. I always keep the car registered, insured, and I don't like to drive with anything with me that could get me in trouble, right? So, no drinking and driving. All right, we're at the junction of the Merritt and the Hutchinson Parkway. Just got off the 287, and now we're going to get on the...
Use the right lane to exit right.
Thank you, Waze. Thank you for screaming in my videos the entire time. I should turn you off. Getting on the Merritt Parkway now?
Exit right to exit 9N, Hutchinson Parkway North, Merritt Parkway North.
Yes, thank you. Here we are, onto the highway. enough ways at this point, but I think I'll let it run just in case there's an accident and it wants me to get off, maybe take the 95 north or maybe a back road. It is 4 o'clock now, or a little after 4 o'clock, and I have some work to do, so I think I'm going to pull over at one of the service stations and do some of that work. But yeah, it says about 2 hours, or sorry, an hour and 45 to New Haven, which means we're definitely going to hit some heavy traffic. But at the same time, right now we're moving. It feels nice. This is like the first few miles of the Merritt Parkway. It's still New York. I don't think we've switched over into Connecticut yet. Road's a little rough, not gonna lie. Definitely tight. No commercial vehicles allowed on the Merritt Parkway. And the East Coast in general, I think New York State and Connecticut share this, at least, that parkways and this dude's not allowed on the highway. Somebody like him, he's gonna drive this. If a police officer sees him, he's gonna get pulled over. But the real problem is if he stays in that right lane and goes through a bridge, he's done. He's done. So it's all low bridges. And of course, here's the first one here. They've done a lot of work to raise the heights of the bridges, but there's still several of them from here in New Haven that are not meant for commercial traffic. And I don't believe they've ever intended this road for commercial traffic. The only reason why they would raise the bridges, in my opinion, is for emergency vehicles, so that they have an easier time getting through. And they're anyways rebuilding a lot of the old overpasses, so there's no reason to leave them so low. That being said, a U-Haul truck on the Merritt is illegal. He will get pulled over if an officer sees him, although you don't see police on this road very often. But coming up here, like, take a look at this, right? So 9'6" is the max height. Oh, and he's getting off. Lucky guy, he realized, or maybe this was just his exit and he chanced it. But this is 9'6" clearance. So you got a box truck, I believe a U-Haul truck. The big 26-footers need 12 foot of clearance. So that's basically the recipe for disaster. And here we are. Welcome to Connecticut and the Merritt Parkway. Very cool. I'm not going to take this. And maybe it's a strategic mistake to not take this service center and do the work that I need to. But after sitting in the better part of 30 or 45 minutes of traffic, I'd like to just move a little bit. So I'm just going to keep it moving. I'll watch the time. It's 4:14 actually right now. Technically, I don't need to stop till 5 o'clock. So we'll see how bad traffic gets. There's 3 stations. I just passed the first. There's 2 more between here and New Haven that I can stop at. I'm not too worried. dropped in speed from 65 to 20 rather abruptly. I threw my hazards on just as a precaution. I like to do that whenever I'm coming from, highway speeds down to a standstill. We're back up to 30 miles an hour. I'm not going to go faster than that. I haven't done any research myself, but I've always thought that holding a consistent speed through traffic was a much smoother approach to sitting in traffic than tailgating and constantly touching the brakes and the gas. So my approach to traffic in general is go a little bit slower than the rolling traffic so that I don't have to stop. And ends up being a smoother experience. Oddly enough, we slowed down there. That wasn't traffic, that was congestion. We slowed down to 20 and back up to 50. So it's just pockets of congestion piling up with all the cars on the road. It's gonna happen no matter what. I have to say, it's a beautiful day. We're headed east. It's 80 degrees, partly cloudy. It has rained on and off in different areas here in the last day. Definitely today I saw some rain. I know in Wilkes-Barre at the warehouse it was pretty damp, as if it had rained maybe an hour or two prior to me getting there. I don't think I drove through any rain this morning on the way out.
Estimated time in traffic, 26 minutes.
Thank you for letting me know, Waze. 26 minutes of traffic, and we have come to a complete stop, and the crawl starts.
Estimated time in traffic, 26 minutes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of DIY Speed. It is the evening before the 4th of July, somewhere around 9:30. And I'm here in the shop for the first time in about a week or two. But not for nothing. Not for nothing, folks. Look at that. Don't worry, it's already filthy. I guess I can immediately figure out if this is going to clean off nicely or not. But I'd say that's a big improvement. Don't worry about the edges. Those will get done never. Yeah, let's face it. That's it. All she wrote, she got 2 plies of the 2-part epoxy. And good enough. DuPont PPG Aquapon in white. I wanted the gloss. I wanted the pop. Help with the lighting in here. Anyway, so it's going to be a mishmash video. I got a lot of stuff to show you guys. I've been recording everything, I think. Have I? Not really, but some stuff. Definitely have. And tonight, we're here to... All right. What are we doing tonight? I don't remember anymore. I also want to thank the guys at Grant Paint. So I want to thank the guys at Grant Paint for giving me the product that I used. This isn't a sponsorship. They didn't give it to me. I mean, it was paid for. Might have been slightly discounted. But when I walked in and I said what I was trying to do, they hooked me up with everything I needed. And Grant Paint, New Haven, Connecticut. Solid people there. Support your local businesses, right? That's the way to do it. Anyways, I'm here with Z. What's the name of your business?
A to Z Detailing.
A to Z Detailing in New Haven. Look at this. It's fucking legit, dude. That's the real deal. And you have a really nice truck, too. Little Dodge Ram next to a Chevy. Careful not to park too close. I don't want secondhand electrical problems.
At least my engine's still running.
Yeah. Yeah, that tick, I don't think it's a exhaust manifold, guys. I think it's a valve. I think it's called mushrooming or tuliping a valve.
Don't like to idle.
Yeah, not too happy, but it'll sit at about 650 begrudgingly. It'll sit there. That's good enough for me. It's got chop to it. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is pro. Damn, dude, I'm slacking.
Small things.
Slacking, man. I did not try to sharpen my game up. I just throw everything in a mess of a bag in the back of the truck. I had 500 pounds in it today of water, mainly. But it rides around constantly with at least 200 pounds of tools in the back. And it doesn't complain at all. some nice green goop.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the garbage afterwards.
All right, that's once dead.
Yeah. We use them. Depends on.
Oh yeah, your quality level's much higher than mine. That's brand new for us.
There we go. I just can't risk.
Somebody's paint with that.
It's
Yeah,
not going to
I'll
make
buy
the
your
interior.
used rags, bro. Fucking 10 cents on the dollar, man. They're still worth something.
It should do something like that.
Is it like burning my paint?
Purple. This is really cool.
Ah, yes. Is this gonna make me fancy like somebody who drives a Jag?
You have a long way there, buddy, to turn your Chevy into a Jag.
But we're part of the Jaguar Club of America.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing you're holding on to.
That's what this place. That's what this place was. I mean, Jaguar Club of Connecticut. I don't know. What does it say back here?
You see the purple?
Oh yeah, it's the Jaguar Club of CT.
Look at this. Look at this. It's pulling up. It's pulling up a lot of that iron.
Oh no way there, bud.
Goes on clear.
Look at
Turns nice and
that.
purple.
That's you smell the chemicals on it.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. So
Well, I love me a good whiff of chemical, but that stuff stings the eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stand back a little bit there, bud.
Let it sit for another minute.
No,
or two.
that is super cool. Wow, I like anything that makes, reactions of colors. There's some special stuff right here.
You can see also you have some rock chips over here. They're bleeding out a little bit more.
Yep, 2.25,
Right here.
2.25,
But the rest of it is
100,000
kind of-
miles.
It's just it's doing its thing. You see, pulling out. You didn't even think you had anything in it, but there's stuff that pulls out. That's what do the whole-
Interblasting.
And this part, I would say, probably had more work done than majority of the car, right? Like, kind of trying to get.
Oh, me trying to make this shiny? Yeah.
The hood, I'm
No,
saying,
no.
was
I
a
did
little
this
bit
in
more-
multiple coats.
Yep.
I mean, it was still water resistant several weeks later. And I gave up on trying to keep it clean. That smells like that. Honestly, it smells like buttholes.
Yeah, it smells like fucking egg.
Eggy, sulfury buttholes. Ah, yes, they're using sulfuric acid to. Is that bug spray? No. Do you see bug spray? Getting bitten up by bugs. What are we gonna do about it? There's no bug spray. Nope. It's killer. Oh yeah, there, bud. Oh, right there. Oh, is it out? No, don't give up on me. Stay with me there, bud. Oh yeah. Whew, right in the eyes. Whew. Love the taste of deed at night.
Shutting it out.
Man, this the clean floors make this thing look nicer, huh? Fuck yeah. So we're starting to get a little bit of drips. Doesn't matter. Why? Because it's epoxy floor. What do you do when you have epoxy and a drip on the floor? You just wipe it. Sorry, I can't point the camera and wipe at the same time. It's not something I'm very good
Motor
at.
skills.
Yeah, no, I'm fat. So, there we go, guys. All right. Until this point, we have removed the iron spots off the paint. And I can confirm that there are no black specks in the paint. That is so cool. How did I not know about this stuff? I need this stuff.
Too. It's smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, because I put a lot of work into it, you know? Oh, also you did too, but... I think I have footage of me working on this earlier this month with the polisher. Huh. We'll see. I might do some time warps.
So Isaac, the question to you is, do you want to just try to, do you want to polish it out, so ultra fine polishing pad, or do you want to hit it with a little cutting action first?
A little cutting action. You know, maybe we could just knock down the Brilla pad marks that I
So let's hit it with a little
embedded
cutting
on it.
action. Let's see what we
Let's
got.
go full spice. Let's go full spice.
Let's do that.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few time warps in today's video where we start here, we end over there, and then we're back over there where we started from. It's been a whole month. I'm trying. That's what matters. That wheel looks cleaner too. Just noticing stuff, you know? When they start to clean up, they look a lot nicer. Plus all the work that I've put into this thing, if it could just look nice for one day, I think it looks nice already. I've gotten it cleaned up. That's pro level.
Let's do that.
We don't need oxygen. It's not 90 degrees and 100% humidity with a
The
thunderstorm.
oxygen we use is just the gin itself.
Yeah. Okay. Oxys and gin. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Wow. I never thought I'd be a
Pain in our
rapper.
lives.
Guys, I have to make this decision. We're making noise anyways. I'm turning the fan on for right now, and things are gonna get loud. That's all right. If you can still hear me. All right. I'll stop being weird. Just swoop it on there. Can you see the swoopage? Can you see the swoopage? There's a little bit of swoopage going on here.
One may say that this will cause more scratching. Yeah, unfortunately, we did everything out, and we're just trying to see where the results, man.
Bring the shine. Bring in the thunder. Literally, there's a thunderstorm outside. I can't make this up. Although I do like screaming, bring the thunder. There's an actual thunderstorm. Oh, yes. I could just do some ASMR by leaving the camera right here. I gotta say, it looks pretty good, man. It looks very good. It gives me hope to think that I could bring the paint around on this thing.
Oh, you definitely
Just
can.
a little bit.
It won't be perfect, but you can get it 90% better. Obviously, the areas that are still painted.
Yeah. Not gonna do anything about the rock chips. Those are battle scars. I could probably get the overspray off of it, but not today. That's it for the night, folks. Gotta back out of this long driveway. Just backing out of the long driveway. I gotta do something about this AC. It doesn't like to stay cold at idle. So probably gonna have to redo some of the AC components here. I know the condenser is just old and worn out. Oof, lightning. I see lights. I'm gonna wait for those lights to go past. Yeah. It's almost as if the AC is not working at all, but it is. I can feel a little bit. I gotta do something about the voltage drops here where it's just constantly fluctuating. And I don't know if it's a new alternator or the wiring, but I'm starting with the wiring before I buy the new alternator. And then only then will I buy a new alternator. As soon as we start moving, it cools right down. I think it's an RPM based thing. I don't think it's an airflow through the condenser. I don't think the condenser is having that hard of a time. When they say, all right, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but when you hear condenser is clogged, that means the fins of the condenser are clogged and no longer allow air to flow through it? Or does the tube that runs through the actual condensing tube, does that clog somehow with debris even though it's a closed pressurized system? I don't know. Does the oil coagulate and plug it? It's raining in earnest. Should make a right. Big announcement, no check engine light.